Hi, I'm Kurt. Let's make some burgers. Yes, burgers indeed. Burgers are what we are about to embark upon. And before we do, there's one question that we need to ask ourselves in order to fully understand what it is that we need to accomplish here today. And that one question is, what is it that makes a burger good? What makes a burger good is simplicity. Because at its core, a burger is several very simple elements. It's a delicious piece of meat that's cooked to your likings with your preferred dressings on top of it on a good bun, and that's it. And that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on achieving that by using the buns that we just recently cooked, and we're going to get some really good beef and make the best patty possible. Some really good beef. We're not going to shortchange ourselves and buy anything frozen. We're going to get some fresh meat. We're going to prepare it and grind it fresh. We're going to get all the cuts that we want that are going to truly make this something excellent, as opposed to an afterthought in an overcomplicated, quick and cheap burger that you'll find pre-made or made with that cheap slime that you buy pre-ground, frozen, and shipped 2,000 miles away to your grocery store. No, we are going to make this ground beef fresh right here before us. And what I chose for our mixture of ground beef is a big old chuck roast. Beef chuck is the core. It is the most essential ingredient for any good ground beef because it's the perfect balance of fat and flavorful lean meat. And you need to have a decent amount of fat in every burger because that's what makes it good. That's how you keep a good, juicy, moist burger. I also got some beef short rib because I like to add a little something to my ground chuck in order to really extend the flavor. And short rib is one of the most flavorful pieces of beef that I can think of. So we're going to cut out a little bit of that and grind it into our ground beef and make an exceptionally good patty. Then we're going to season it just like it's a steak. We're not going to overcomplicate it, throw a whole bunch of corn or beans or seasonings into the meat. We're simply going to season it and treat it like it's a steak, sear it really good and cook it to our liking and top it with our favorite toppings. So that's what we're about to embark upon. Join me as I go ahead and get started by prepping our meat. Optionally, you can take your meat grinding equipment and your freshly prepared beef and pop it in the freezer for 10 minutes to get it all firmed up, and it, in theory, should grind a little bit better for us. By the way, on your meat serving size, the bottom line is that I like to make really big patties here. We're going for like 8 to 10 ounces per patty. So take 8 to 10 ounces, whatever you want in that range, and multiply it by the serving size you make. 60 ounces for 6 10-ounce burgers, plain and simple. If you do not have the resources at home required to grind your own meat, you still have plenty of options. You can grind your meat in a food processor if you have one. Basically, just blend it with the blade on until it gets to, ground beef type consistency. That's what you're looking for. And then you also can do it with a knife. It's a little tough, but you basically just have to chop or mince up beef until it's just very fine and kind of ground up. The last thing you can do, I do recommend if you don't like any of those methods, is any good grocery store, if you ask them to grind you some fresh beef, they probably should be able to and willing to do so. So please also ask your meat counter at your local grocery store if they'll grind it for you. I'm willing to bet that they'll do it for you as well. So then you don't even have to do this. They'll do it for you and it'll be fresh. It has been 10 minutes. Time to grind. All right, see this type of ground beef right here. This is the final product of grinding it fresh at home. Look at how delicious this ground beef looks, and we are going to turn this into our burgers. We're gonna make some truly terrific, like the cream of the crop of like burger patty. That's what we're going for right here, and it all starts with really good beef, and that's what we just made. Cover it up and take a minute to do the dishes. All right, after you get your post dishes beer, you're gonna take these out of the fridge and we're gonna start forming these into patties by first actually getting them into their portion sizes using a scale. If you don't have a scale, you are free to, just eyeball them and make sure they're about the same size. Okay, so I just made one quick test patty at 8 ounces. I'm going to measure out each serving size before I proceed to make little patties. But what I did is I just made a quick patty and said, is this a size that I'm happy with? And I think I am. I think this is good. I don't think I need to add any more to this. You could if you wanted to. But I think that 8 ounces, that's an 8-ounce patty. And I think that's what we're going to go for today. I also don't think that you should overwork these things. I think one of the best parts about this ground beef is that, the fat kind of melts and it's got these little like nooks and crannies in there that like get nice and crispy and delicious when they cook on the grill. Okay, now that I got all my servings out, I'm just going to flatten them out into patties, and like they're going to rise in the middle when we cook them, so I flatten them out with a little bit flatter, less thick in the middle. Basically, we're going to make like little like beef ashtrays here, because you're going to kind of push in, use the Coke can grip, and just kind of work this out into almost like you're starting to make a donut, but then you're not like finishing it. Use the Coke can grip, that's what I call it. Again, keep it simple. We're just going to season them just like they're steaks and cook them just like they're steaks, because that's essentially like what we are going for here is like the steaks of hamburgers. So let's do that. A little bit of salt and pepper on either side. Salt, pepper, garlic pepper on either side of these burgers. Nothing else. We're not going to overwork these patties. We're not going to like put egg and seasoning and corn, beans, whatever. We're just going to treat them like they're steaks because they are delicious pieces of meats that are going to be cooked just like steaks. Those guys can sit out for a few minutes while we go ahead and get ahead of our toppings, because I like them to all be ready as soon as the burgers are on the grill, just so you don't have to worry about timing it while they're on or while they're resting. So for our toppings, we are going to slice up some cheddar cheese, slice up some onion, slice up some green leaf lettuce, and pickles. I do believe we have everything that we need now for the grill. We have our buns split and ready to go. We have a little bit of our butter ready to go in the microwave at any moment's notice and be melted to be put on the burger buns, which we will toast after we grill our burgers. We have our toppings prepared, which consist of chopped lettuce, sliced cheddar cheese, onions that I tossed in a little oil, paprika, salt, pepper, because I like my onions a little grilled. I just don't particularly care for raw onions on a burger, so I'm going to just sweat those on the grill for a little bit. Sliced pickles, sliced tomatoes, and what we're going to do is get our grill absolutely positively ripping hot and sear these just like they're steaks, and then we're going to pull them off, let them rest just like they're steaks, get some cheese on them at some point so that it melts with the burger, and serve with a delicious bun that we will have toasted. I recommend using a grill because if you do everything correctly indoors, you should be setting off some smoke alarms. So that's why I always like doing a grill outside. However, just get some fans cranking if you're doing it indoors. And yeah, we're probably going to do 3 to 4 minutes aside. Should hear that good sizzle when we put them down.
I like a nice medium rare burger, and if you do too, you want to look for an internal temperature of between 130 and 135 degrees Fahrenheit before you pull it off the grill. I am also not one to judge. If you like your burgers more well done, just cook them longer. Look for an internal temperature of 160 to 170 and cook it all the way through.
All right, so I took the burgers out. This is what they're looking like. They're going to rest like this for a little while. Put our cheese on top. We're going to let those rest for a minute, just like that. We're going to let them rest like they're steaks. Don't worry, we are going to melt this cheese. Don't worry, have no fear. Okay, we got some buttered buns ready to go on. It's their turn now. We also have some onions we want to cook, right? I'm just going to throw this in a pan because they're just going to fall right through the grill. Put this cast iron skillet on there and get it heated up. Just took our buns off. Beautiful homemade bread. Close it up one last time with the heat gone from the burners, but just get the cheese melted and those onions finished up, and we should be good to go. Once you get the cheese melted, just the way you like it, there's nothing left to do except assemble. So I actually, watch this. Get a little bit of this underneath. Tomato, pickles. A bit of the onion. Ketchup. I like a little mustard. That right there. Finished products. Okay, I've been playing with all type of light to get it the right cross section in the right light there. A beautiful pink center, warm red center, and look at all that. You get the beautiful bread that we baked the other day, the lettuce, the beautifully cooked meat, the steak basically that's on this burger. We got the tomato, the pickle, the condiments, you name it. That's a good burger right there. Ready?
Ready.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's go.
I like the bun.
The best part.
It's like buns are always such like an afterthought sometimes. You take the time to make them, get really good ones at least. Butter them up, toast them. Yeah, great time. This is a great time right here. This is absolutely fabulous. Can eat this all day. Thank you. That does it for this one. Please join again. More good things are coming.